Welcome to Trust the Profits. Here we are putting the favorites of the Kentucky Derby on trial in these very videos here. And today we are going to be putting Angel of Empire on trial. I will be arguing for Angel of Empire. Matthew DeSantis, you'll be arguing against Angel of Empire. Shall we get started?
We shall, sir, and we will start with some opening arguments.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I think you will find that this is an open and shut case of habeas horses. I present to you the undeniable greatness of Angel of Empire. Let's look at his last race, shall we? This is the race that really seals the deal for me. He raced at the Arkansas Derby, 10 horses deep, 9 furlongs of racing. At the 3/4 mile mark, he was in 6th place, 3 1/4 lengths behind. At that point, we thought all was lost for poor Angel of Empire. We had lost our angel. However, that is the point on which he turned the afterburners on, because by the time he reached the top of the stretch, he was 2.5 lengths ahead of the rest of the pack. He eased his way to finish under Flavian Pratt, more than 4 lengths ahead of Reincarnate and Rocket Can. He single-handedly knocked out Red Route 1 out of Kentucky Derby contention. And then we look back a race, because one race is not nearly enough for us to determine a trend. Single-handedly knocked out Red Rocket 1. I said that before. At the Risen Star, 9 furlongs, 14 deep, a deep field, almost as deep as we're getting towards the Kentucky Derby. Under bet at the 3/4 mark, 7th place, 4 lengths back. Again, we thought all was lost for this under bet horse of Brad Cox. He hit the stretch, made his way up to 3rd place. And again, the afterburners turned on. So by the time he got to the finish line, ahead of Sun Thunder and Two Fills, he was 2 lengths ahead. I present to you the undeniable greatness of the 8-1 and easily bettable Angel of Empire.
While my Southern gentleman colleague certainly presents a compelling case for the Angel of Empire, let me make a counter argument to all of this. First of all, let's take a look at how he is going to be breaking from the Kentucky Derby. Breaking from post position 14, that has only yielded historically 2 winners from the Kentucky Derby with a whopping 3.3% win percentage and no winners since 1961. Additionally, his best buyer speed figure is a 94. Let me run through the horses with a better buyer speed figure that are in the Kentucky Derby field. Verifying twice, Two Fills, Tappa Trites, Kingsbarns, Reincarnate, Mage, Skinner twice, Practical Move twice, Forte 3 times, and even also eligible Mandarin Hero. He is an also ran horse. The best horse he's beaten, probably Two Fills, followed by Rocket Can, who's 30-1 on the morning line, Reincarnate, who is 50-1 on the morning line, Sun Thunder, who is 50-1 on the morning line. He has beat up on bad horses, quite frankly. And he has not demonstrated the ability to get to that elite speed figure standpoint that we would hope to see from a true Kentucky Derby contender. In addition, he has a disadvantaged post position, and that is why you should be going against Angel of Empire in the 2023 Kentucky Derby. Now that we've both presented our opening arguments, we are going to give each side an opportunity for a rebuttal.
First off, I'd like to point out that you did bring up Two Fills and Verifying as horses that have had better speed figures. However, Verifying can barely find a way to win a race, and Two Fills has already lost this horse once, and by several lengths. So I'd like to throw that out right away. In terms of post position, as I talked about before, there is a drop-off that you see at certain post positions where certain horses do have a disadvantage. However, the closing power that you see from Angel of Empire should benefit him clearly to overcome any sort of disadvantage out of post 14, which is by far not the worst post to be having in this race. He could have gone further out and gotten a worse post position. But as of right now at 14, I feel very comfortable with Angel of Empire. And in terms of the other horses you brought up, tell me when they won a race of any consequence, like Angel of Empire has done up to this point today, 2 in a row. In fact, his only significant loss was at Kentucky Downs, of all racetracks, a weird place for a Kentucky Derby hopeful to start off at. I concede to you.
Well, listen, I will just say, out of the horses that have run better speed figures, certainly a horse like Tapit Trice, who has won both the Bluegrass and the Tampa Bay Derby, a horse like Kings Barnes, who's won the Louisiana Derby, certainly both very impressive resumes. One of the concerns that I have with Angel of Empire is what is the trip that he is going to make with jockey Flavian Prat aboard? Are they going to sit mid pack again? If so, will they be caught wide from that 14th post position, as several other horses are going to be jockeying for a very similar position? This is a concern, certainly. You mentioned the 14 horse field. Yes, he navigated that 14 horse field in the Risen Star. I should also mention that was a blistering pace up front, and there was a complete meltdown in that particular race. We are not expecting to see a similar meltdown in this year's Kentucky Derby, and he will have even more horses to contend with in terms of trying to navigate through that traffic, coming from behind, coming from several lengths off the pace, and even more lengths off the pace than what you had described initially, because it's going to be a more strung out field, and he's not going to be sitting seventh in this particular race. He'll be lucky if he is sitting 13th or 14th in this particular race. This is a horse that is a Pennsylvania bred. Only 3 Pennsylvania breds have ever won the Kentucky Derby. His pedigree underneath suggests that he might struggle getting the distance. He comes from a family of sprinters from a dam side. This is deeply concerning from a standpoint of trying to get the 10 furlongs. This is where I run into problems trying to support Angel of Empire. Now that both sides have had a chance to rebut, is now an opportunity for both sides to present their closing argument.
You bring up sprinters. I think we've already dispelled that myth. This horse is definitely not a sprinter. He's taken on 9 furlongs, and he's shown that he can push well past that. That is of no concern to me. You mentioned 3 Pennsylvania horses have won the Derby. You can go ahead and make that 4 right now. I feel pretty confident in Angel of Empire. In terms of the size of the field, in terms of his placement, what I've seen from him is the ability to close, the ability to navigate, even in traffic. Having a number of horses around him, he's found a way, and he has Flavian Prat, one of the best jockeys in the world, if not the best, one that I would probably even rate over Irad Ortiz as his jockey, a jockey that had options going into the Derby and decided at the drop of a hat, Angel of Empire is the horse that he wants to ride. In closing, the 2 wins that we just saw from him, the competition that he faced, if you want to doubt that, you can also say that he knocked several horses out of the Derby contention. Angel of Empire is the one to bet. 8-1, extremely great value here. This could be the winner.
First of all, let me say thank you, everybody, for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like below and let us know who you think won this argument, pro and against. But let me close by just reiterating again, the best speed figure this horse has posted is a 94 Beyer speed figure. Now, some people are going to say poo-poo. Who cares about speed figures? Well, they are useful. And they also are helpful in measuring horses against each other. The fact that half the field has had run a better speed figure than Angel of Empire is of deep concern to me. The other deep concern is that this horse has gotten the perfect setup in both of his last 2 trips. Relying on a perfect setup for the biggest race in sports is not a recipe for success. This is a concern that if he does not get the perfect setup, what is going to happen? Does he have a plan B? This is where I get very concerned with Angel of Empire. And Brad Cox, for all the success that he has had, is only winning 9% of grade 1s at Churchill Downs dirt routing. It is a concern that he has had great pace setups against slightly smaller fields, against inferior competition. Now he's going up against the best, and I just don't think he quite measures up to where we see the very best and the most elite in this field have to offer. And that's why I will be against Angel of Empire.